method here is to keep both breasts together. You saw the moulard breasts, they were two together, right? That's how they sell them. When you buy duck breasts, it's always in pairs like this. You can cut them in half and cook them separate, of course, but we're going to try and keep them together, and we're going to try to maximize our yield. We're going to take some extra stuff off with it when we do it, all right? We're going to cut straight down the back like this. And then there's two flat bones in here, two scapula, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. See them? You're going to cut across and then over the outside of the scapula. All right? A common error is people will cut in here and then go chef, chef, chef. And I'm like, in disgust. Cut on the outside, on the outside, on the outside of the scapula. You see it? The goal is to capture this extra meat. I could just cut on way over here, but then I'd lose that meat. So I'm trying to maximize my yield. So I cut way out there and way out there. All right, you see that? Now, once that's loosened, you can see the rib cage. The rib cage on the duck is collapsible, I guess, when they hit the water. What you're going to do now, once you have both sides loosened, is turn it on its side. Roll it on its side like this. And then you're going to start in the front. There's the socket joint, right? You go just underneath that socket joint and you'll hit a bone. The bone you hit is the wishbone. Cut over the wishbone and into the gap below it, right? There's a little gap. And then brush along the rib cage till you get to the keel bone. The keel bone is actually not even bone yet. It's still really soft cartilage. See that in there? So you turn it on its side, poke through, and then just scrape along like this. Push it open with your thumb a little bit. It's super soft. So don't cut through it too much. If you cut through it a little, that's okay. Now that's loosened up. So the first bone you hit, that's the wishbone, and poke through and then scrape along that. That's just one side of it. Now, the wishbone, it's not pointy like on a chicken, it's a U shape. So at this point, you can just cut around the U-shaped wishbone. See that? You don't have to take it off, just cut around it, loosen it up like that. Now that side's done. Now we go to the other side. We already loosened it to this point. Turn on the other side, just underneath that socket. Brush along like so. Where's the wishbone? Already gone. See, right there. So just go for the keel bone, carefully, carefully. If you cut through bones, if you cut into the keel bone a little bit, it's okay. We can remove it later. Better that than leaving meat behind. Now you're going to cut along this edge, like so. Right, like that. Okay. And now, that's the keel bone. That's pretty soft in there. It's so soft you can cut right through it. If you want, you can just cut right through it like that and leave some of it behind. All right? That's a pretty good yield. Now to get that last bit of, see how it looks? Get that last bit of cartilage off, you fold it in half like this, and just very carefully pry that out of there. Right? That's where they're going to cut it in half later anyway, so they can clean it. When you see them in the market, they might have that little bit in there, and leave that in, that's okay. And then stretch it out like this, I have a little cartilage in the back there. I want to take that off. Alright. And then stretch it all the way out like this. There's times where I might want all that skin on, where I'm going to stuff it and roll it up or something like that. But in this case, we're going to stretch it all the way out and make that boneless breast. So you're going to cut around the edges like this. All this stuff, even this little bit of meat, it's going to go in the pot with the fat. That meat will crisp up too, and I will eat it later. Or I would serve it as part of a crispy crackling. And this is your beautiful duck breast. Just like you bought